Spiritual awakening occurs when you're fully in the present. To be fully in the present is to be spiritually awake. Now, to be fully in the present, strangely enough, isn't something the ego can pull off. It can't do it. The ego can hear about being in the present moment, but it can't really pull off being completely in the present moment because the ego will be talking to itself. Am I in the present moment? How am I doing? Is this it? How do I know that it's the present moment? And therefore, it's like you're in the present moment, but really you're more in a narrative about this present moment. To be in the present, if the ego was to drop into the present moment fully, then the ego would not be talking to itself. That's what it would mean to be in the present moment, deeply. But if we understand that that's the essence of spirituality, it's the essence of spiritual awakening. If we really get that, then that's going to lessen to a great degree our reference to the past, even a past experience, and reference to a hoped-for future when the great awakening will occur. Now, the challenge, probably, of a lot of spiritual practice is to let go of the past and the future in terms of one's spiritual quest. Now, if you really do that, all of a sudden you're not in anxiety anymore. You're not in anxiety about whether you will or won't experience something in the future, because when you're fully in the present, you're not thinking about the future. So you don't have the kind of anxiety about it, or the despair about what may happen or may not happen, or all of that. So there is a kind of, in a sort of mature, I guess you could say, orientation to spirituality is, you're no longer grasping at the future. You're not trying to reduplicate the past if there was a nice past experience. And the interest, because to be aware or to inquire, both of them take interest, profound interest, kind of deep interest. So the balance is that, say you're doing whatever spiritual practice you're doing, but can you do it without being dominated by the past or the future? Now, if you can intuitively sense into what I'm talking about here, you may feel that the present, in the way that I'm kind of trying to orient you towards the present moment, when we get that the present isn't about what happened in the past, and it's not about anticipating, hoping for something to happen tomorrow or in the next moment, as soon as we let go of those two orientations, really let go of them, then the mind becomes extraordinarily quiet. You may or may not have thoughts in your mind, but it will become much, much quieter. Because all of our thought is about the past and the future. So when we're not entertaining the past and the future, spiritually speaking, the mind is quiet. It's like a calming comes down through the whole body. You will very often feel a kind of latent anxiety in the mind. If I could articulate or give voice to that latent anxiety that often comes and pulls people back into the past or the future, the latent anxiety would say something like this: well, if I'm just completely in the now, since I can't be in the now and be controlling things, right? You can't do it. Not in the way I'm talking about being present. You can't really be fully present and trying to control things for a certain outcome, because that's, of course, the outcome's going to happen in the future. And you certainly can't be referencing or trying to outrun something in the past. So as soon as all of us gets here, often people feel this sort of latent anxiety, like, my God, if I just open to now and I'm not pushing and I'm not anticipating and I'm not referencing the past or the future, well, by God, maybe nothing will happen. It's kind of like the ego confessing one of its underlying fears, like, if I just kind of let go, then how do I know anything useful is going to happen? Which is kind of funny because, you know, the ego can sort of hold on decade after decade after decade, and then it's where maybe nothing deeply spiritually significant happens because the ego's holding on, but then the ego will get anxious, like, well, if I don't hold on, maybe nothing will happen. Well, look at how much nothing has happened while you're holding on. So in essence, it's like the ego is afraid that what will happen if you just really let go into the present moment will be the same as if you're referencing the past or future, which is that nothing significant really happens. So it's almost like a cosmic joke. You know, you can be worried about what has already been the case.